Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about homeschool science curriculum and what we used last year. We did go with the Sonlight curriculum as I stated in my earlier video this week. If you saw that one, we did a lot of Sonlight curriculum this past year. Loved it. We're still finishing up some of those curriculum picks in the fall. We're not quite finished, but since everyone is sharing their curriculum, I wanted to jump on board in case you really want to see what this type of curriculum is like. I really loved it. I did get the science experiments box, and we did some of them, but not as many as I would have liked because of toddlers. And I'm hoping that's something that we can change this fall and do a little bit more of the science experiments, because they are so just well laid out. They're easy, open and go. I'll go ahead and show you. It comes in this box. Let's turn it this way. So their science experiments materials come in this box, and then it comes with all sorts of things that you need, and most everything that you're going to need will be included in this box. So you have clay, and there's tape, and there's, you know, little clothes pins, and I mean there's all sorts of really interesting things, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do a lot more of that this fall. For the science, it's extremely open and go, self-explanatory, like the HBL curriculum, the History, Bible, Literature. And when you get your science curriculum, you will get the pre-planned sheets for the week, for each week. And let me show you, it's very similar to what we talked about with the HBL curriculum. And so it's laid out, hopefully not too much of a glare, but there is a glare. Let's turn the light a little bit. So this is what it looks like. You've got your experiment supplies and anything that you'll need extra to pick up. It's laid out for you. There's usually one science experiment per week. There is some readings that go along. So for this particular week, it was Mysteries and Marvels in Nature. So they use a lot of the Sonlight books, which I love. So we used this one in particular, and we would read about 4 pages or so in this book. And then there are coordinating worksheets that go along with each week. And so for each day, you would do maybe 3 or 4 questions of the worksheet, and you can make copies of these for your kids, but hopefully this is not too bright. I think it might be, but hopefully you can see that. So each week you will just have them answer a few questions after you read the selection in the book. And we loved this part of the curriculum because answering the questions, and a lot of times we would just do that orally. So I would just go through and ask, how do the following animal-eating plants lure new victims? And we would talk about those. And the Usborne books that come with, this was the science curriculum that came with the Level D package, the one that we worked on last school year. And so this particular one came with the Mysteries and Marvels of Nature. That was the first one. And then we did the Encyclopedia of Planet Earth, also an Usborne book. And these books are really awesome. They are very colorful, easy to understand. The kids really enjoyed them. I loved them. I thought it was fantastic. We covered so much material, and it didn't feel cumbersome at all. And then there's also some additional materials. So as you progress through the curriculum and you get through those books, there's additional material that you'll have assigned reading out of, like this energy book, DK energy book. So it came with this. You can just see a lot of these books are just really, really colorful and simply laid out. Here's this one, What Are Waves? Came with this one as well. Just a very short book about energy waves. And then there was some scratch coding So we did a little bit of that, just some introduction to coding. And then this is, I don't remember reading this. This might be one that we still need to get to, but it's a Hollywood legend and brilliant inventor, Hedy Lamarr's Double Life. So it looks like a little storybook about this particular person. So it came with that. And then it also came with this other Usborne book, the Illustrated Elementary Science Dictionary. And there was some assigned reading in this book as well. I think, oh, okay, so that as well as this. Now this is the science experiment book that it comes with. And let me just kind of show you how it's laid out. All right, so for the science experiment, if you guys, I don't know if you're like me, but if it's too involved as far as science experiments, like I just don't have it in me to do that when I've been trying to get schoolwork and homework and housework and meals and like all the things done. I don't want a super in-depth or, you know, involved science experiment, and these just are not that. They are very simple. There's a short little introduction about what you're going to be learning about. So the first one was about taste. And so we would just read a little bit about what the taste buds do, you know, and how we're going to show that. And it gives you a little section up top of what your materials are, what you're going to need right there. So you can pull all those out of your box and have those ready. And then you'll basically move through the experiment using the scientific method. Sorry, could not, my brain does not want to work. So you do your hypothesis and you talk about what you think is going to happen, and then you do that science experiment, and then it comes with some science experiment sheets so you can document your findings and keep those in like a science journal. So at the end, you can read about the takeaway, what you learned, what the experiment proved, and just have those conversations. It probably took us about, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes or so, maybe less, to just do the whole experiment and talk about it and everything like that. So this is what I mean by the experiment sheet. This was with like different items and iodine and how it reacted and what that meant, if it was a sugar or starch, and it was just really interesting. So there are loads loads of these. I think there are one for each week if you're doing like 36 weeks. So it's a pretty thick book. And we did not, like I said, we did not do a lot of science experiments. We kind of did, I would say, maybe like one a month instead of one a week. And that was fine. You know, I tailored this curriculum to what I thought I could handle, and that is what it's meant for. So, but I would definitely highly recommend Sonlight Science Curriculum as something that you could do with all of your kids, no matter what their age is. The kids who are like pre-reading and younger can learn so much just by looking at the pictures and hearing you read the material. And a lot of it is, you know, something that the whole family can learn from and enjoy. So I would definitely recommend this to kind of help so that you're not having a, you know, individual science curriculum for each kid. That can get, I mean, if you have multiple children that you're homeschooling, that can get really overbearing. So this was just the perfect fit for us. And since we, you know, really, I would say we did about half of that curriculum, I'm not ordering another curriculum for science. I'm just going to continue using that one and continue moving through that until we finish it out. And I think that's fine. There are many years where I have not had a formal science curriculum for the kids, and that's worked perfectly fine. We've just pulled books each week and kind of done read-alouds that would involve different science topics. And I think that is absolutely fine if that's working for you, especially in the younger years. I never really did a formal history or science. Now that Mason is getting up into middle school, he's in his last year of middle school and be moving into the high school years here after this year. So I really felt like, you know, now it's time to really start honing in and doing a little bit more with history and science. And honestly, I don't think that I would have done it any differently, because it really isn't, you know, the core. Science is every day, is what I'm trying to say. You don't need a curriculum specifically for history and science when they're very, very young. And that's something that you can just kind of learn as you go. So, would I recommend Sonlight Science? Absolutely. I hope you guys check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. There's going to be many more to come. I know this one is very short, so be on the lookout for some more homeschool videos. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.